Alright, so Uttarakhand government has brought in the Uniform Civil Code being passed, and let's understand what's uniform in the Uniform Civil Code. First up, the age of marriage. It's going to be same for all communities. Second, the succession rights, be it for the followers of Islam or for the followers of Hinduism, they become same now. Earlier, because of the Hindu Succession Act and the code bills, the Hindu community did have equal rights for the boy and the girl, or the male child and the female child, but there were still some discrepancies. For example, in the case of succession in agricultural property, women did not have the same rights. So that's corrected. In the case of Muslims, of course, there were no code bills, and the entire Shah Banu debate was about bringing in the Muslim community into the mainstream through a uniform civil code, which happens now with this law that has been brought in by the Uttarakhand government. Also, some interesting aspects. For example, in the earlier system, both in the Hindu and the Muslim side, the father was not entitled to share in a property if somebody passed away in testing. That's been corrected. Another very progressive measure is in the case of children born out of wedlock, generally called illegitimate children, they have been given a share in property, and they would be treated as equal to legitimate children. So why should they pay for somebody else's mistake, sin, crime, etc., depending on what position you have? So that's one important change brought in, or inclusion in the Uniform Civil Code, cutting across communities again. And then the aspects of making it mandatory for registration of live-in marriages, fine if you don't register marriages, live-in relationships, not live-in marriages. And one would say, from the liberal point of view, that this is a restriction and containment on an individual's right to choose. But then the Uniform Civil Code makes it mandatory to register live-in relationships, and that's an element in the law. Then some people would say that what is not uniform. So, for example, the tribals have been excluded. That's not uniform, which means some part of the population is left out of it, and that's something which the opponents draw the attention to, that it's not uniform really if some part of the population, anything between 8 to 10% in the state, and possibly whenever it comes out in other states, would perhaps get excluded. And then the fact that the aspect of Hindu undivided family, which was a benefit for the Hindu community within the existing laws, that's been left untouched. Ideally, it should have gone, because if you're making it uniform, something which is a benefit for the Hindu community and was not available to other communities should have gone, but the Uttarakhand government has not touched it. Maybe because tax laws ultimately are about the center. So that's one anomaly which has to be addressed. If Uttarakhand is going to have its own UCC, and then later stage maybe Assam or Gujarat or any other BJP ruled state is going to have their own UCC, what about people in other parts of the country? And that's an aspect which makes one wonder whether a uniform civil code is going to be a true uniform civil code only if there is a national rollout and not state specific. It's possible that because it's a BJP agenda and been on its manifesto since the formation of the party, it's likely that in the Modi 3.0, the third term of the Modi government, that there could be a national rollout. They have tested the waters with Uttarakhand. There are already committees looking into similar laws in states wherever the BJP is in power, from Assam to Gujarat to Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh in between. And once general elections are over and the government is back, it's likely that there could be a national rollout of UCC. And when that happens, then maybe these aspects which are left could perhaps be addressed, be it the HUF, be it the issue of tribals getting excluded in some ways. I don't know how it can be addressed. And then, of course, the objections of the liberal sentiment, that what about the LGBTQ rights, etc.
Brace yourselves for a revolutionary leap into the world of news with the Republic World app. This is not just an app, viewers, it's a direct conduit to a world of news delivered with unparalleled authority and integrity right at your fingertips. Republic World app is your gateway to the latest updates, live streams, and the debates that have become the hallmark of our journalistic prowess. Download Republic World app, available on Google Play Store and Apple App Store.